let's talk about insider trading. Yeah, all right, baby. NFT desk. Let's do this thing. Crypto time. All right, so last night on Twitter, this tweet went super duper viral, and it was like, yo, the OpenSea head of product is out here buying the NFTs that he knows is going to be showcased on the homepage, and then flipping those NFTs based on that privilege information and making a couple ETH from the whole dastardly deed. So that really blew up. And then this morning, OpenSea put out a response saying, not denying these allegations, and saying that it was looking into it and it was instituting some policy changes. Really interesting detail in a piece on CoinDesk from Will Gottsegan, our new colleague. Sorry, Will, there's a new Will in town here at CoinDesk.
You've been replaced.
Even took your old Slack handle. Sorry, dude.
Oh no.
But anyway, Will, mentioned in his piece that major investor Andreessen Horowitz is handling crisis comms on this one, which I thought was an interesting little detail. But let's get to the heart of the matter, the ethical quandary of insider trading in crypto. Whether or not that's a feature or a bug, I think is a conversation that could be had at length. But now we're seeing it in a splashy way in the NFT space that's really captured people's imaginations here. I'm going to kick this to Will for his initial take, and then we'll just go up the line. But I mean, Will, when you see this unfurl on Twitter last night, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, so my thoughts were actually other people's tweets. They kind of front ran me there too. I think is the most notable thing was like this front running was noted on chain. Like the reason people found about it wasn't because of some regulatory scrutiny going through books, going through accounting records and auditing someone. They merely looked on Etherscan at the history of these NFTs and found that someone had been flipping them right before they were posted on the OpenSea website itself. So it's like pretty easy, put those two links together and you're caught red-handed. So I think that's just kind of a nod to the benefits of decentralization. Like right now we had Gary Gensler and Senator Elizabeth Warren on Capitol Hill yesterday talking about the downsides of the cryptocurrency industry. Well, look, Etherscan just figured out your entire front-running problem by instituting this whole open blockchain system that you can look at any project, you can look at anything and see exactly on chain when it was bought, when it was sold, for how much, when, where, and get all that information, and anyone can look at it. That's my initial takeaway. Zach, I'll throw it back to you though.
Naomi, I'll bounce pass it to you. Transparency and openness, a feature or a bug of open networks?
Well, I want to dive into insider trading for a bit, because this is maybe going to start another rant. Like, it is so wrong to lock people away in jail in cages for acting rationally. If someone has information about something, the rational thing to do is act on that information. And I think it's crazy that as a society we punish that. And also, all of the laws around insider trading are super, super vague. So there's specific legalese that kind of, I mean, it's all wishy-washy. And then the Supreme Court gave their opinion as well. But I think this is another example of where you have these vague laws which can be used to arbitrarily choose which people, the government wants to target. And it just ends up being this very unfair situation where these laws are applied completely unevenly in society. I mean, like insider trading, I would presume that it stems back to an age where lots of information wasn't public, like before the information age, where we had so much stuff at our fingertips, right? But even if you were talking about something that only he knew, like it was going to be on the front page of a website, therefore it was going to, clearly be, very profitable to flip it or whatnot. Like, okay, is that like, where's the victim here? I just don't understand where the victim is and why this is a bad thing that he acted on. It seems like rational behavior, but that's just my take.
I want to, yeah, you just silenced us all, Naomi.
Sorry.
I want to point to OpenSea's response. So they said they prohibit the behavior, and they, with a quote in their statement, for a new, more open internet that empowers creators and collectors, we will need to bake in trust and transparency into all we do. We're committed to doing the right thing for our users and earning back the trust of the community we serve. To Will's point, I think the transparency is there, and this was just a bad actor. So I'm curious to see what their actions are from this statement. I don't know how they're going to win that trust back, and has that trust even been lost? But I'll kick it back down to you, Naomi.
So the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, I've just pulled up, defines insider trading as this. Among other things, the purchase or sale of a security of any issuer on the basis of material, non-public material of that security or issuer in breach of a duty of trust or confidence that is owed directly, indirectly, or derivatively to the issuer of that security. Like, first of all, are we now considering NFTs securities? Because that's like a whole nother can of worms there. But first of all, like, whose
maybe.
trust was breached? Was this person like told insider information that this is going to appear on our web page here and you're not allowed to tell anyone? Otherwise, like, who did they betray in this situation? I'm just a little confused as to why there's a big deal about this. But Zach, I'll throw it to you.
I mean, it's the idea of open and fair markets, right? That everyone who's participating in this marketplace should have a fair shake. And the idea, the SEC is probably not going to come knocking in this instance. I don't know if they have jurisdiction over OpenSea, but the ethical questions are quite interesting. And I think that's why people are seeing this and are saying, hey, you know what? That's just not fair. That guy knew that it was going to get some love on a major marketplace, and he bought and he sold and he benefited. And I didn't have access to that information, and I am the victim of that. So I think that's why people are sort of like, at least upset, or at least
why I don't like
claiming
it,
to be
Zach.
upset on the internet. What? Why?
I think it's like, if it's just driven by envy, then what a dumb law. A law driven by envy because, you're sad someone else had information that you didn't. It's like, okay, well, go out and do some research and get your own information about something else. Make a market, find out something that, think is going to pop. If you look at, drugs that are on the marketplace that you think are going to be great in the pharmaceutical industry, look at climate patterns, all of that. Like, just go and use your talents and stop like shouting down people who are using their ability. Okay, that's another rant. I keep ending these things on rants.